Good afternoon. This is Tracy with Scratch Kitchen, and we're going to look at week 2, start of January. Start out with Sutton Daze with Leisa, and she did a roasted pork and spicy broth. Oh my god, this is delicious. I mean, delicious. That is what followed her rosemary, thyme, balsamic jelly. And you didn't think week 2 can get better. Oh, it's going to get much, much better. Lisa showed how she roasted off her pork in a cast iron skillet. Love it right there. And she goes through the process of filling a jar, debubbling the jar, cleaning the jar, the rim off. And there was no siphoning. When she says siphoning, it's no liquid from inside the jars was lost. Now, let's go to Angie's Pantry. Pizza sauce. Yeah, now she used Mrs. Wages. I personally have not used Mrs. Wages. I have a pizza sauce, pasta sauce, a multi-purpose sauce recipe that I used, and it works. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And she used her electric ball water bath canner. Now this thing looks awesome. It's got a little spigot. And I actually watched Heather from Kneady Homesteader, just a second, use her electric water bather to make stock in. And I thought, hey, yes, this is an awesome thing to have. When you're done, you hit the spout, drain all your water out, no moving it from one spot to the other. Awesome. The jars look absolutely beautiful. They have that deep, beautiful red color to them. Now, canning crisper apples from Whippoorwill Hollar with Lori Diane. She showed first how to ferment them for 12 to 24 hours, depending on the item. Yeah, some things take longer, some things take less time. But she showed how to ferment them, how long she did it, and the cider was this beautiful gold color. It's absolutely fantastic. And she showed how she processed them in her water bath canner. They looked beautiful. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous. I will definitely be doing this with y'all. Now, Tulilu Creates did huckleberry jam. I've heard of this. I've just never made it. She used a steam canner, which I am considering getting. I'm gonna leave you a link to Sharon Peterson Simply Canning, and she goes through the basics of steam canners, the advantages, the disadvantages, and everything. Sharon is fantastic. And I'm gonna leave you a link to a steam canner as well. Now, she went through the process of making these jams. She showed how to use it to sterilize the jars and do just everything. The number one advantage that got me was that you use less water, which means it's going to be a lot easier to dump when you're done. So, moving on to Mandy. Chili Verde pork. Hello, yes. Got a little bit of spice in your life with this. And it looked absolutely fantastic. Now, this is a pressure canning project. Meat, beans, and any other low acid food should always be pressure canned. It did sound absolutely fantastic. I mean, wonderful. Now, the good thing about this is you can adjust the seasonings to your liking, make it spicier or less spice. You can put more smoke to it, smokiness to it with cumin. It's fantastic. Alright, pepper potpourri with her butternut white bean soup with rosemary and tomatoes. This looked fantastic. I mean, just absolutely wonderful. And she did pressure can this because, again, the beans and the butternut squash are low acid foods. Now, keep in mind, when you pressure can with herbs or spices, these things will intensify as they set in the jar over time. And when they go through the pressure canner, they will intensify. Now, she goes through the whole process with everything. Alright, this brings us to Angie from Freedom Homestead. She did a lower carb venison stew. She told how to adjust the ingredients, how to change them out. She used an organic beef broth. Okay, fine. Anyway, remember to debubble. These are big chunks of food. If you do not debubble, what's going to happen is all the air is going to settle in the bottom of the jar while it's pressure canning. So when you come out and you pull that jar out, you're going to have about that much space in the bottom. That was the air that got stuck in there because you didn't debubble. That's my little toaster oven over here. Lunch, breakfast, whatever you want to call it. Alright, Paul's rule of thumb. He did an HP sauce. While living in England, Paul had this wonderful sauce with basically everything. I mean, they use this sauce like we use ketchup on everything, including a flip-flop if we get hungry enough. Okay, if it's deep fat fried. Now, once Paul got this sauce blended, it has beautiful, deep chocolate color. It was the color of chocolate. That's what it reminded me of, the color. It was just beautiful color. He used these small jam jars, like 4-ounce ones. I'm going to give you the link. He did the recipe in the description box. It looked super easy. Alright. Mouse toes. She did a beef stew, a pot roast, in a jar. It came out of the all-new Fall Book of Canning and Preserving, page 275. Now this book has a lot of stuff in it. I mean, they packed quite a bit in the little book. It gives you the times you need to use. And the end product looked absolutely wonderful. Now, I've been watching them for a couple of years, and I've learned a great deal from a lot of these folks. This is why I'm recommending them to people who want to start canning. Alright, ground beef and onion soup au jus. This was Heather, Kneady Homesteader. She did a fantastic job. I have done ground beef before, and it doesn't look the prettiest. Actually, it's quite ugly. I'm gonna be honest with you. But it's so handy to have on your shelf and not have to worry about you need meat for tacos or whatever and you forgot to take it out. No problem. Pop up in a can and there you go. Done. Alright. That is this week. Week 2. I will see you guys at the end. And we will discuss more of Jarred Up January. This has been absolutely fantastic.